I'm here at Linaro Connect with Tyler Baker. Tyler, you're new to Linaro. What exactly is your title here at Linaro?
I'm the technical architect for automation and CI.
So you're on the Lava team.
That's correct, yes.
And this is your first Connect here in Hong Kong, or first being in Hong Kong first at Connect as well, right?
That's correct, yes.
So what's your initial impression of this event?
Well, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of very, very smart people here. And I'm just really happy to be a part of it. I've watched on YouTube for many years, and now I guess it's just the dream to be here and to meet everybody that I've seen, so it's going really good.
So now we're putting you on YouTube, and we're going to let you highlight all the awesomeness that's going on in Lava. But before we get to the Lava picture of what we're doing here, you have a very compelling success story with Lava as a community person. Not even as a member or a partner, but as a community. Can you tell people a little bit about that success story?
Absolutely. So we started doing Android platforms at my former job, and we needed a way to validate our output, much like Linaro needs to. So we looked at the open source offering Lava that Linaro was offering and wondered, could we utilize it in a way that we could test production quality devices? And the answer was yes. However, there was a little bit of work that needed to happen to basically extend it far enough such that we could get the production quality and the test suites that we already had available running in Lava. So that's what we did. We spent a few years looking at it, well, actually just 1 year looking at it, and decided that this is actually, there's a lot of value in it. And the value isn't that it's all there, it's that it's extensible. And the extensibility is what drew me to it, and being open source, of course, so that we could take our value add and our use cases, get them quickly implemented, and show the validation process to our upper management. And really, that's what Lava enabled for us. And
so you saw the value as a company, as even like community kind of company. But if you were in an elevator with somebody and they said, tell me about Lava, you only have 10 floors, go, what would you say?
Well, it's an enabler. Like Dave Pickett always says, it's an enabler, and it truly is. And so we looked at it as an interface. We want to run tests, and we don't want to necessarily have to write all of this code to get on the device, to set the device up, and do all of that. And Lava kind of already had that piece in place. What we needed to do was figure out how we're going to test our value add, and really that's what Lava was. It was just a piece that enabled us to do the validation that we needed to do.
So I wanted you to repeat that a little bit.
Okay.
And that's why I kind of asked that question, because I wanted to hear you say enablement. And we're so much more than just what we do with a member board, or just the software that we put on the board, whether it's on top of Android or on top of Ubuntu, or now on top of Fedora,
right,
and other distributions. We're more than just that. We can help test people's existing software that they have and enable them to become better. And you really highlighted how successful that could be. Now we're going to fast forward a little bit to today and the Lava workshop, and while you gave your success story in full, and we'll link that to this.
Excellent.
What do you want to see come out of Connect, and what do you want to see the community get behind as far as Lava goes?
Sure. So I guess the first part of that I'd like to clean up the documentation so that the community members can get involved easier and quicker and with less confusion. I mean, that's the biggest takeaway, is that we need to figure out all the great development that we've been doing on Lava, or that the team's been doing on Lava, put together a coherent way of communicating that to the community. And then how to get them involved? Well, there's a lot of projects out there, of course, as you know, but really starting with the Android projects that are out there, because there's many members. So CyanogenMod, anybody on XDA, really showing that we can easily validate those nightly builds or those experimental builds with Lava in a very easy fashion. And that's what I'd like to see, is that they can come together, we can maybe do a prototype, and then they can take the rest of the way, just because it's that extensible. So,
to use that military term, rapid prototyping.
Right.
And I think that's what you have in mind, is getting it out there quicker, because a lot of times have this idea, but by the time you prototype and get it out, it's already overcome by events. And
right,
so it's that rapid prototyping. And I think Lava allows people to do, or companies to do. But the unique thing is, it's not something that you need a whole server harness for. People can actually put that on their laptops, or they can run it at home and they can test it at home. Can you tell a little bit about how people can do that?
Sure. So the way the architecture for Lava is set up is that each component can be run separately or together, which makes the system very robust. So if you want to get involved in it, and I think the easiest way to do that is to pull down a test runner. So if you have an Android device, Lava Android Test is the way to go. Pull it down and hook up your Android device and start running tests. And once you get that down, then maybe you can move on to doing the server installation with our Lava deployment tool. We've actually just created this, makes it a lot easier to install the Lava server, and then you can see how that runner is utilized as a smaller component to the bigger picture. And then that'll give you a good feel of how Lava works internally. And then of course, reading our wiki and understanding, the information that we put out to the community. But yeah.
So companies and individuals who are, just the project type users, big companies. I think Lava scales both small scale and large scale. It works well in all situations.
Sure.
So for those folks who are, who are saying, oh, well, this is for big data, big devices, and hundreds of devices hooked up. It can only be just one. It can be, it's whatever you want it to be.
That's right.
And you really did a good job of showing us at Linaro how it was being used outside of our own vision, So we're really glad that you're on board and you and Dave and the other members of the team are doing such great things. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you want people to know in regards to Lava and Linaro Connect or your experience here?
Well, I think that they need to really wait and see what we do next, because I think we have some really good things in the pipeline, and obviously our roadmaps will be published here shortly. But I think we're going to really, this is the year of Lava. We've heard it at Connect, and that's true. I believe that that's true. We have the momentum now, and we have the interest, and we have the maturity of the software, and these are all kind of coming together to make this trifecta and really make Lava a great service as well as a product to the community, to our members, and things like that. So I would watch out in 2013 and see what Lava does. I mean, we're going to be doing servers now. We're going to be doing Android. Obviously, we're going to be extending Android to use fast boot. We've got a proof of concept already done, and I think that's going to really enable a lot of the communities to take what we've done with our fast boot implementation and extend that to all sorts of devices. And I think we'll be seeing a lot more people getting involved in 2013 just because of the enablement.
So there we've heard it from you, Tyler, that 2013 is not the year of Linux desktop, it is the year of Lava testing.
That's right.
So thank you so much for taking time out of your hacking session to sit down and talk to me about Lava and your experience with Lava. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.